Hi, folks. Chris Voss here from the ChrisVossShow.com, the ChrisVossShow.com. Hey, we're coming here with another great podcast. Oh, my gosh. You're just going to be amazed by the author that we have on today. We're going to be talking about fashion. As most of you know, as my audience over all these years, I am a fashion god, and we have an amazing author. We're going to be talking about fashion classics. It's going to blow your mind. High-end society, I suppose, all that sort of good stuff. We'll get into it. But in the meantime, to see the video version of this, go to youtube.com/Chris Voss, bell notification people, goodreads.com/Chris Voss, and all our groups on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and all that good stuff. She is the author of the book, The 10, How and Why We Wear the Fashion Classics. This came out on June 1st. 2021. We're going to be talking about all the cool stuff and things that go into it. She is the senior fashion writer at The Guardian. She's written for Elle, Vogue, and The Telegraph. She regularly posts on the radio and on podcasts to discuss fashion, fashion history, and culture. She's the author of 50 Style Icons Who Changed the World. She lives in London, and her name is Lauren Cochrane. Welcome to the show, Lauren. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
Good. And I know you were stunned when you came on the show and saw me with my flip-flops and socks and my shorts and my red shirt that doesn't match my Chris Voss Show hat. I know you were just overcome with the shining fashion god that I am, but that being of course wrong. Give us your plugs so people can find you on the interwebs.
Oh, okay. So the book is on amzn.to or Barnes and Noble and bookshop.org, and you can find me on Instagram at Lauren_Cochrane_.
There you go. We'll get in the show later if when my look comes into vogue. But in the meantime, tell us what motivated you want to write this book.
Well, the reason behind the book is basically I've sort of worked in fashion for kind of 20 years, and I think I've always been interested in people's reactions to that information and how people don't think that fashion is about them. So for me, writing this book was to show how fashion and style is kind of it's entrenched in how we think about society. So I wanted to show that by writing the sort of history of 10 items that are very familiar to all of us. And so that was the kind of the jumping off point.
So give us an overarching spread of the book, what it's about, and what kind of some of the teasers for what's inside.
So it's about 10 different items that will probably be very familiar to people. Most people will maybe own a fair amount of them. So we've got kind of jeans, the mini skirt, the ballet flat, the white t-shirt, the trench coat, the biker jacket, Breton top, little black dress. I'm sure I've forgotten one. Oh, stiletto. And then I sort of talk about the kind of social history of each item and how that item has meant different things at different times. And I talk about different kind of subcultures and kind of demographics, but also kind of obviously the stars and how they've worn these items. So you've got kind of, as we were talking about, Marlon Brando in a biker jacket, for example, the Supremes in a little black dress, the Coco Chanel in a Breton top, etc., etc. So it goes through the history, through those different facets.
That's interesting. So how did you determine which 10 articles of clothing to focus on for this book? I would have picked mostly Victoria's Secret models, but how did you pick on 10
There's no Victoria's Secret models in this book. I'm very sorry about that.
Okay, well, I'll still buy the book and read it.
So I wanted to do it. As I said, it was about showing the kind of everydayness of fashion. So I specifically sort of zeroed in on things that that I knew that we all wore every day, or even if we didn't wear ourselves, we kind of knew, they were very familiar. And then I had like a long list of all those items, which had lots of other things on it, like, a grey Mars sweatshirt, a white sneaker, for example. But I kind of narrowed it down to the 10 that I thought had the most interesting histories and the ones that kind of were most kind of revealing about how what we wear kind of tells us about our society.
Mm-hmm. And of the 10, do you have a personal favorite?
To wear?
Mm-hmm. Or, did you like the most? I don't know.
Probably jeans. I mean, I'm sure most people wear jeans every day.
Yeah.
So I think, first of all, so personally, I have a kind of interest there, which, you know, apparently half the people in the world are wearing jeans on a daily basis. So I have that in common with half the world. But also it's a really interesting story because they're so ubiquitous, and how they became so ubiquitous is really interesting, and how they kind of, you know, how you can almost look at an old picture and sort of date the year by the style of jean. So yeah,
true.
kind of
Especially with like acid wash jeans, you can definitely date yourself wearing those. I owned a few pair in the back in the day.
Those are fashionable again, though. So
I should have saved my. I might have a set of parachute pants somewhere. I'm not sure. I'd have to go check the storage unit, but I remember owning a pair when I was in high school. So maybe those will come back. I mean, it seems like if you just keep it all, it eventually comes back. So I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So are my socks and flip flops ever going to come back around? Is there a comeback fashion for those, or is that pretty much always going to be out?
Do you have a pair of Crocs?
I can, if that's really what the mood calls for, the fashion gods call for. But I usually wear them with my, you know, long shorts, not those short shorts. So the out of any of the 10, are there any that you don't like? Are there any that you're like repulsed by?
There's none that I'm repulsed by. I've never owned a biker jacket.
Really?
So
I mean, I could see you in a biker jacket.
Yeah, I just have never. I've always had this thing where I put one on and I feel like a bit of an imposter.
I could see you as a Hell's Angel.
Oh, really? That's nice of you to say. Is it, or maybe it's not actually, considering what they got up to.
I don't know. I don't know. You don't seem like the burly kind of person who hasn't bathed for a couple days, and wow, now I just lost the Hell's Angels crowd. Okay, well, there goes that. At least one of them. What's the secret to finding the right pair of jeans for your body? I know one of the problems I used to have was, well, I was fat, and I reached a point where they don't make jeans for me anymore. They just kind of go, no, we're not doing that for you anymore. What's the secret to finding the right pair of jeans, I guess?
I always think I have a sort of section about this in the jeans chapter, but one of the things, and it's like people always roll their eyes when I say this, but it is true. You just have to try loads of them on. Yeah, and then you eventually find the ones that suit you.
Yeah.
Because they just change so much compared, like when you think about brand or sort of like the finish or the shape or the fabric. I mean, obviously it's all denim, but different types of denim, etc., etc. I always think the other thing about jeans is think about what you wear with them, because if you wear, for example, like if you tuck your shirt in, you want to think about where they sit on your body, because otherwise you're going to get all that kind of awful like gathering at your waist, for example, or with comfort, the most important thing. You know, it's those things that only the person wearing the jeans can determine.
That's very true. You list several different icons. You list William S. Burroughs in the trench coat, photographed by Allen Ginsberg, the iconic Marlon Brando in a biker jacket. I mean, speaking of Hell's Angels and that whole era of bikers and dudes wearing leather, I mean, I think he kind of ushered that in. I don't know, with that biker jacket. I mean, I can still see it to this day. It's still stuck in my mind. Sidney Poitier in a white T-shirt, playing a juvenile delinquent. What a consummate actor. The actor, when it really came down to it, especially in his era. Marilyn Monroe in stilettos. I wear stilettos now because of Marilyn Monroe. I mean, just helped her become a sex symbol, according to your book. Muhammad. I don't wear stilettos, guys. Muhammad, that's a joke. Don't write me. Muhammad Ali, 1963, putting a hoodie through paces, another icon. Brooke Shields, of course, an icon. Not letting anything come between her and her Calvins. I think I remember those commercials in the 80s. Tina Turner rocking the leather miniskirt. Yeah, I remember. I think I was a teenager when that video came out. My eyes, I think I still haven't been able to see right since they popped out of my head. Yeah, I mean, she still is just the hottest thing going. Chloe, I'm sure I'm saying this right because I'm clearly not up on with the kids. Chloe Sevigny.
Yeah, I think the surname's French.
Oh, okay. Well, I flunk French. The Little Black Dress in 1996 with a pair of tiger striped stockings. I imagine it's a she. Is she the one who brought into fashion the Little Black Dress?
Oh no, no, the
Huh?
Little Black Dress
I
dates
thought.
back a very long time.
Wouldn't that go back to who was that fashion god from the 50s or 60s? And she did that movie with Bogey and whatchamacallit, and she was the cute girl, and I don't remember. Anyway, she had like Tiffany Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Oh yeah, Audrey Hepburn.
Didn't she do the Little Black Dress, or maybe make it? I don't remember.
Yeah, so her Little Black Dress that she wears in Breakfast at Tiffany's is still referenced as one of the classic Little Black Dresses. It got one of them, because obviously, in movies they always have a few different versions of the same item, and so one of the dresses got sold at an auction house a few years ago for a lot of money. I can't remember quite how much it was, but it was a decent amount. So it's kind of seen as this kind of iconic example of the Little Black Dress. That was designed by Givenchy, who kind of dressed Audrey Hepburn through lots of movies.
Yeah, I mean, she was just an icon. Beautiful. So was, of course, Bogey. I mean, Bogey was beautiful, like her masculine beautiful. That was kind of weird. And then what else do we have on the list that was interesting here? We had Amy Winehouse, of course, just an icon of a singer and a beauty in her own. In 2007, wearing her signature freed ballet shoes. I don't remember seeing this picture. I should probably have to Google it. I was never into Amy Winehouse when she was alive. I got into her after. I don't know why. I'm a heavy metal rocker, so that's probably why. But she's in no doubt an incredible talent. Kate Middleton, the Duchess of Cambridge, in a black and white Breton. Is the Breton a hat? Forgive me for being so ignorant.
So I think that in America, some hat of some description is a Breton. Because another American interviewer asked me the same question.
I was trying to Google it in the background. Was it? It wasn't one of those funky hats then?
No, it's like a striped jersey.
Oh, I'm seeing it now on the
shirt.
Google.
Yeah. And it's named Breton because it was originally from Brittany in France. And it was originally a sailor's outfit. So it was striped because it was thought that if someone fell overboard, they'd be easier to see against the waves.
So
yeah, in the sort of 19th century. And apparently, because it was French, the number of stripes on a traditional Breton is the number of victories that Napoleon had against the English.
So it wasn't the number of surrender flags they did after that. But I just lost the French crowd. It looks like the pants kind of have a little bit of either Frenchy or kind of sailor sort of look to them. I guess maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They're sort of a bit sailory, aren't they? Yeah.
Very fashionable. I'm gonna order this from Amazon and wear this next week. But no, I see what you mean. That's very cool. I mean, she's a beautiful, iconic woman, as you know, as I am. But yeah, she looks great. So you pick these items as different benchmarks in the thing, and then with each article of clothing, you give tips on how to wear the classics now. So if you want to wear these classics now, this probably helped me with the stilettos, because I don't think I quite look good in them yet. So maybe I need to have the slinky dress, or give us some tips on how to wear these classics better.
Well, I mean, I talk about different ones. I mean, I think that I suppose the sort of takeaway across all of them is because they are so ubiquitous, you kind of have to think of new ways to wear them. So, for example, with like a trench coat, which we're so used to seeing in a khaki or a kind of beige, I talk about how if you have kind of a brightly coloured trench coat, it looks completely different, for example. Or, I mean, you were talking about wearing the stilettos with a slinky dress, and actually they look really interesting when they're worn with something else, like with kind of like a pair of baggy jeans or a kind of like, something more casual. Because you've got those very obvious things, you know, like a slinky dress and stilettos. Everyone's seen that before.
Mm-hmm.
So to kind of like change it up and kind of make it modern is the way to do it, is to kind of sort of switch it up a bit.
Yeah. That gives me some ideas on what to wear. I've had a number of girlfriends that have had this problem. Why do you recommend women have more than one little black dress? They always have that black dress in the closet that they're always trying to fit in, and usually bikini for when summer's coming up. They're like, I'm getting into that bikini, and you're like, it's okay, sure. Have fun with that. So why do you recommend they have more than one little black dress?
Oh, sorry. Because you don't wear the same dress to all these different things. That people say the little black dress is very versatile, right? But you probably wouldn't wear the same little black dress to a job interview that you would to a cocktail bar.
Probably not.
You know, it would be a bit strange. Or to wear the cocktail bar dress to a job interview, for example. So it's about having kind of just different options. So I probably have like 4 or 5 different ones. And I have one exactly that's very sort of like work focused. It's got kind of longer sleeves and kind of, you know, a sort of, I don't know, below the knee hemline. Then I've got like another one that's kind of got a kind of really full skirt and a kind of like vest top type bodice thing, so, which is much more like going out on the weekend, you know. And so you have a kind of various, they are very versatile, but you also kind of want to be able to kind of adapt what you're wearing to where you're going. So yeah, that's why I say to have more than one.
Awesome sauce. Can you tell us what one female or one male present day celebrity you feel is making a big impact on fashion?
Well, there's quite a few. I mean, I would say in terms of men, probably different celebrities, including Timothée Chalamet, the actor, who wore this amazing like gold suit to the Cannes Film Festival a couple of months ago. Lil Nas X, who is like really knocking it out the park in terms of like quite like fashion forward kind of looks. And in terms for women, I would say, I mean, the people that I always look at if I see something on like social media, I would, if I see the mention of Rihanna, I will always look at what Rihanna's wearing. I actually kind of, it's not my style particularly, but I think that what Jill Biden wears is really interesting because she's obviously not that interested in fashion, but she supports young designers by what she wears. And I think that's quite impressive and powerful. You know, I mean, she's like, you know, Michelle Obama was an amazing,
she was
like fashion icon, you know, but it's a different thing, isn't it? It's different.
I laughed for a second because I thought you said Joe Biden.
Oh no.
And I was just thinking of the recent skerfuffle about the black dress. So
I don't know about that. With that,
or not the black dress, the tan suit. He did the Obama tan suit just recently, and it's, you know, Fox News is melting down over the failure of democracy and the breaking of our constitution because of a tan suit. But he wears it well. Although I think Obama did a better job with it. But Michelle Obama, what an icon gone. I do agree with you. Jill is just an amazing, beautiful woman and a fashion icon in her own right. It's interesting to see the politics in this country. They get all upset over someone who's fashionable, but I don't know, it's really weird. So welcome to America. So what do you think of the past celebrities of yore? Which ones have had the most influence on what we wear today? Who do you think sticks out the most?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I would say, I mean, if you think about the people in the book that I've got, they are like iconic images and iconic kind of moments. So that picture of Marlon Brando in the biker jacket with the white t-shirt on the motorbike, that's like very much a kind of iconic image. And ditto, she's not in the book, but Audrey Hepburn in Breakfast at Tiffany's, she has had like huge impact on what people have worn in terms of like ideas of what chic is. She's very much kind of held up as this icon of chic. I mean, I think probably also someone like Kate Moss, Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi
so
Hendrix,
much impacted what I mean, he still impacts what people wear now.
That dude
Yeah.
is a god, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
That dude was a god. Yeah, a lot of great people that you have listed here that are just amazing people. Katharine Hepburn,
Oh yeah.
Prince, of course. I think he pretty much influenced the whole '90s, or maybe it was New Wave that did that. I don't know.
I mean, I'm a massive Prince head, so I can't believe I didn't just say Prince.
Yeah. What's going on there?
Outrageous.
Marilyn Monroe, Bridget Bardot, Coco Chanel, all these people. Of course, these are the people that I shape my fashion around. Of course. So there you go. You mentioned a lot of shoes in the book. Tell us what are most versatile or most essential for people to have, because I just own flip-flops.
Well, I think it's a bit different for guys.
Yeah.
I suppose because I don't really talk about guys' shoes in the book particularly.
That's okay. We forgive you.
Okay, cool. So we'll go on the women's shoes. I think probably obviously, to be able to walk in a pair of stilettos is a beautiful thing. So if you can do that, then that's great for you. I would say, like, in terms of versatility, you probably want like a kind of mid-heel shoe that you can wear. Kind of, what you don't want to have to do is take another pair of shoes in your bag. That is not very chic. So you want a kind of shoe that you can wear all day and that kind of translates into lots of different events. So a mid-heel shoe, maybe like a sandal that's kind of easy to wear in the summer. I would say also kind of a pair of kind of nice flats. Not necessarily ballet flats, but ballet flats would fit into that. They've kind of come back into fashion recently. And then also I would say a pair of like sort of plain sneakers, like sort of to kind of, so you can kind of run around, like, and they're much more accepted these days. I talk about that in the book a bit, about how the sort of because dress codes are changing so much, for a woman to wear a pair of sneakers, even in kind of more conservative offices, is now kind of more acceptable, which I think is great.
Yeah, it's just amazing all the different things that women can do with their looks and their clothes, and for men we're just a whole lot more simpler, I suppose, unless I guess you really want to go for it. Of the 10 pieces in your book, which one tends to be the most expensive, and do you have any advice on how to achieve the look on a budget?
That's an interesting one. I guess probably the trench coat or the biker jacket. And I guess because outerwear tends to be more expensive, but I mean, even them, you can get them for reasonable prices depending on where you shop. I would say both of them, to get the nicest ones and the ones that aren't sort of lots and lots of money. I mean, unless you have like Burberry money, which most people don't. Those biker jackets, those trench coats cost thousands of pounds.
Wow.
I would say the best way to get both of those things, and you'll get a really nice version of them, is to get a vintage one. And there's lots on kind of eBay and Depop and places like that, that you can kind of browse and find one that kind of suits you, and has that sort of like strikes you in a way that feels like it's part of your style.
There you go. Anything more to plug out on the book before we go out?
I can't think that there's anything else to say, like about the book itself. No.
Yeah, you got to buy it and read it, people. We can only tease out so much. We can't give you the whole book on the show. So it's been wonderful to have you on, Laura. Give us your plugs where people can find you on the interwebs and order up the book.
Okay, so the book is available on amzn.to and Barnes & Noble and bookshop.org, and my Instagram is Lauren_Cochrane_.
There you go. Well, Lauren, it's been wonderful to have you on the show. Thank you for coming on and being with us today.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
There you go. And guys, order up the book wherever fine books are sold, but only go to those places that have the fine books. The book is called The 10, How and Why We Wear the Fashion Classics by Lauren Cochrane. Order that baby book up today and figure out your little black dress strategy. There you go. You should do a book on bikinis next, I think, and help women figure out, that whole bikini thing that they do every year when summer comes around. So that might be a book too. Anyway, thank you for being on. Thank you for my audience for being here. We certainly appreciate it. Go to youtube.com/Chris Voss, Goodreads /Chris Voss, all of our groups on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and all that good stuff. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you guys next time.